Hey guys, what's up? Thursday. We are here to talk a little NFL DFS. We were just talking over. Sounds like Klay Thompson. We kind of heard last night there was the rumblings. It was the Achilles, and it sounds like that's definitely the case. And it sucks having the NBA year start on a tragic note like that.
Rigorous comeback for him, I know, and man, it sucks. You always feel for a guy like that. Still seemed like he probably had a lot to give, and now you don't know about his career. So I'm with you, man. Definitely thoughts and prayers to him.
Yeah, to go off of like an ACL on one leg to Achilles on the next, on the other leg, and back-to-back seasons like that, like that is just a tough thing for any man to go through.
That's rough.
All right, guys. NBA is not the point right now, though. We do have NFL tonight. Man, like it hasn't been like this in seasons before, but I know we've discussed this already. With no baseball or basketball right now, like I look forward to these Thursday night football games like no other.
Hell yeah, especially because you don't really watch college sports. So 100%, I'm with you. I feel you definitely.
All right, guys. Deal of deals, though. We still got a couple of spots left at the second tier of NBA only. We've discussed it. We'll discuss it real briefly a couple more times probably till we get this done. We are rewarding early signups. It is not up on the website, but the PayPal and Venmo addresses are below. It is half price for the NBA package right now until we get a few more, and then the price will go up by 25%. $60 gets you the full season of NBA regular and playoffs. Send the money, and you are good. We'll get you into the private VIP Facebook group for right now, and then we'll talk to you about, as close as the season starts, you are good to go.
Yeah, man. Hyped for NBA to start. Obviously, the draft last night. Cavs making moves, baby.
Cavs are definitely the favorites now, right?
Yeah. I mean, they're looking good. We'll say that.
I can't wait for the NBA to start. And one of the things I will be doing when NBA starts is I will be playing heavy on the overlay matchup shop. I am excited to start just turning dollars into dollars over there. If you have not played in the matchup shop yet either, guys, my favorite part about this, I will keep bringing it up. You could do a one-on-one bet. And I love knowing exactly what I'm rooting for and exactly what I'm rooting against. Even when it was Monday night, when I was super heavy on Dalvin Cook over Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins had like his best Monday night football game ever. Sucks to lose that way, but I still had fun watching it.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting. If nothing else, you know you're not going to win all of them. So at least you get that sweat.
Yeah, the sweat's real. That's what they always talk about. They want you to be able to know and have an exciting time. The name of the website, overlaydfs.com. Talking about it all the time. Get in there. Subscribe to the station. If you're new to it, thumbs up is appreciated. Let's talk about some of the easy picks first. Let's start with Russ. It's a big game right here for him. And there's a lot of statistical reasons to like him, and we can talk about all those. I think most of you guys understand those. But as far as like intangible reasons, Russell Wilson at home, division, MVP, momentum, all on the line right here. We expect him to live his best life tonight and play a big game.
Yeah, I mean, coming off back-to-back losses, they had lost to Arizona before. All of a sudden, Seattle sliding. Just a lot to like about, the guy who was the unanimous MVP a month ago. If he wants to stay in that race, they've got to win tonight, no doubt about it. This is a big win for the division. It's a big game all over. I agree with you. Expect to see the best Russell Wilson has to offer tonight, and that's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, we expect a good game from him right here. So Occam's razor play. Occam's razor part 2, though, would be the other quarterback on the opposite side. The DFS MVP of the year for a lot of people. A huge fantasy football pick if you've drafted this guy early. Kylo Murray has been nothing short of amazing. 24-plus DK points in every game this year. Great matchup with Seattle. You can like Lockett, DK, Metcalf, Hop. You can like all these guys, but it's a tough night not to take both quarterbacks. Who you put in the captain spot, obviously that's debatable. But this guy, because of his legs, is probably the highest floor in the NFL right now in a great matchup. Tough not to get here.
Not to get there. Listen, he's shown it all year. We talked about it the other day. He seems like the new Patrick Mahomes, new Lamar Jackson. He's the guy this year. And in a spot like this where Seattle can't stop anyone, he just is a lock and load type play. I mean, listen, both these guys cost a lot of money, but if you're making one optimal line, you have to lock them both in.
Talk about two guys with just like insanely high floor and ceiling combinations tonight.
Yep, exactly.
Moving along from there. After much discussion, we've come to the same conclusion. As things stand right now, Dan Arnold is our pay down option of choice. And the big part about this is Daniels. I would be flabbergasted if he plays tonight. If you watch the game on Sunday, that looked to me like a rough injury. He has not practiced all week. Again, dude must be an absolute tough guy for the fact that he's not even ruled out already based on how the way the injury looked the other day. But we don't expect him to play tonight. Williams is also, extremely questionable. So Dan Arnold could be the only tight end the Arizona Cardinals have, which is great because now he'll run all the routes. So again, he's 2,200. If Daniels plays, this changes everything. But as it stands right now, we are looking at not Darnold, but Dan Arnold to play.
Yeah, not Darnold, not Tom Arnold, not Sam Darnold, but Dan Arnold. Wow. Say all that 5 times fast. I bet you
can't.
But yeah, I mean, listen, we've seen him involved a little bit. Like you mentioned, no Daniels probably tonight. Max Williams hasn't done much for the offense. He probably won't play. So he's all of a sudden the guy there. Is he great? No, but he doesn't need to be great to get a bunch of targets and to potentially find the end zone here. At 2,200, he looks like the safest value on the slate. There's guys, and we'll get to one that probably have a little bit more upside, but he looks like a guy with a nice solid floor for his $2,200 price tag.
Yeah, assuming again that Daniels is out tonight, which we fully expect him to be. I cannot believe he's not ruled out already. He must be an absolute tough guy for the fact that they're even considering him at this point.
Impressive.
Not that most of these dudes aren't, actual real tough guys.
True.
All right, next up. So let's talk about the Seattle running back situation as a whole right now. I did not notice this until you brought it up when we were doing the members only video, but Collins is back on the practice squad. Homer is doubtful. Chris Carson appears to be truly questionable. DJ Dallas is dirt cheap. The Seattle running back situation overall is very, very murky. It becomes a lot more clear, though, if Chris Carson is ruled out tonight.
Yeah, if Carson's out, it's hard not to at least take a long look at Hyde at 5,200, man. I mean, probably going to get the Lions care amount of shares here. Very affordable price tag in a game that we think Seattle could be up in. Hyde's been good when he's been healthy this year, so he makes sense for sure.
He's one of those guys that gets passed around like a blunt throughout the NFL, taking like everybody takes a little hit and then moves along. But that's because he's not a bad player, right? Like he can run the ball all right. He's not a great running back, but he can definitely be viable on a day-to-day basis. So if it's just him and DJ Dallas out there, I think they're both in play. We're assuming Homer is out. Chris Carson is the big question mark right here. And if Carson plays, it's really difficult to have interest in any of them.
I heard someone say that about Danny Green yesterday, that he was being passed around like a blunt. And
I saw it on Twitter too. That's why it was in the back of my mind.
I laughed hard. And it's so true, though. Hyde definitely fits that description.
Absolutely. So we'll see what happens right here. I hope Carson is out because when we did lineup construction, it became a lot easier without him and being able to utilize these guys. But if Carson plays, like I don't trust him to have a full workload. I think Hyde will get some in the mix. And at that point, like I'm probably just out on the Seattle running back situation. But if he's out, then I have interest in both guys. Because Pete Carroll has said this week, we need to get back to running the football a little bit. Now, who knows if he actually does that? We've heard coaches offer lip service a million different times, but we just got to wait this one out and figure out about Chris Carson.
Yeah, it could be just coach speak, but you never know. So, I mean, listen, I think that if Carson is out, it's hard not to take a long look at Hyde. If Carson is in, I think based on what you think that he might not, have a full workload, I think you could look at Hyde in tournaments, but he's not the optimal play anymore.
Yeah, it becomes tricky. It definitely becomes much trickier if Chris Carson plays.
No doubt.
All right, last up, we're going to go with the GPP dart throw, and that is a young man by the name of Andy Isabella. Look, no ways around it, right? The dude has not seen a lot of action lately. He scored 2 touchdowns earlier this year when Christian Kirk was out. Has not been a major factor in games outside of that. If you guys can rewind your think tanks just a little bit, go back to the game against Dallas, though. They tried to hit him on a couple of deep throws because that is what they have him here for. Meanwhile, Seattle has been burned by the deep ball all year long. They're just not good at defending it. At $2,000, one deep shot to Andy Isabella is all you would need in order to hit major value on a price take like this. Yes, it's risky because he's also a high candidate for a zero. But if you're trying to separate yourself in GPPs and taking a look at lower owned guys, Andy Isabella could be that dude for you.
Yeah, exactly. It just takes one play for him. And again, he doesn't even need to score on that one play. If he catches a 70-yard ball or 60-yard ball or whatever, I mean, that'll probably get you there all in itself. Like you mentioned, very, I would say likely to get a zero because we've seen it a bunch this year, but he's extremely fast. He is the type of guy that can really hurt the Seattle defense. So if there was a game for him to, catch a deep ball or two, this is a nice spot for it. again, we said it. He's not the cash optimal play. Arnold looks to be a much better, look at the same price. But in tournaments, I think Isabella has higher upside just based on his big play potential.
And in tournaments, assuming the other tight ends are out, I definitely would assume Andy Isabella gets less love throughout the industry.
For sure.
So, again, it's risky, but you can't win the biscuit if you're not willing to risk it. And if you want to win that thing, man, you got to take some chances, especially in these shorter slates like this where everybody gets a little bit of ownership. You got to take some chances if you want to separate yourself from the crowd. Because even if you do have a great lineup and you split a GPP with 100 other people, what good is it?
Yeah, no thanks on that.
Yeah, I was joking around with my buddy Brad, who does a lot of our Facebook admin stuff. And many, 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 many years ago, he split a GPP on a 2-game NFL slate. And he went to bed, he woke up to see he won a GPP, was all psyched. He's like, oh man, I split it with 300 other people. Thanks for the $4.
Yeah, that sucks. That's just so rough.
Yeah, it's a real squared up kick to the nuts when you got to split it with that many people. So if you're trying to win GPPs on Showdown slates, really go for the dub.
Yeah, you really have to be willing to eat a zero in a spot or two if you want to be different there.
Absolutely. So, guys, that's what we got for y'all today. Don't forget to click the thumbs up button. Get on that NBA package before the price goes up by 25%. The Venmo and PayPal addresses are below. Appreciate everything you guys do for us, and have a wonderful day.
Yep. Thanks a lot, guys.